Hey, I'm Brandy Sorensen with ConverseCountyHome.com and Johnston Realty.
And I'm Tyler Johnston with Johnston Realty. And this is your Converse County market update for the week of April 7th.
Yay! Time is flying.
Spring seems to always go like Christmas, New Year's,
Winter forever.
January, and then it just
Yep.
takes off. Graduation is May 12th, so Mother's Day is Douglas High School graduation.
Yeah. Well, we just got the email from our district in Glenrock that was like, here's all of the things that we have happening in the next couple weeks. It seems like because of the year-end performances and the stuff. So
Yeah, I think there's like 30 actual days of school
great.
before school's out.
Yeah.
But there's, what do we say, 43 homes on the market right now
Mm-hmm.
in Converse County.
Yep.
So
And
we're
then
down three from last week, but
yeah.
those seem to go pending.
Yeah. So there's 26 homes that are pending right now in Converse County.
And three sold so far this month since the 1st of April. So there's been three closings in Converse County, and actually all three of those were in
Right.
Glenrock.
Yeah.
So
So really interesting time of year. So for
it,
buying and selling.
yeah, it seems to always
So
kind of,
about that time, yeah, people want like if they're moving after school, then they're ready to get their house on the market and vice versa. So
yeah, it's that weird time of now we're ready or now we're starting to look and
mhm.
just see how it goes.
Yeah. Speaking of, we are going to do a buyer's what are we calling it? A buyer's
It's not really a first time home buyers class, just
yeah, just
buyer's information class.
yeah, we partnered up with one of the lenders that we use often, Jacob, with Fairway Mortgage, and he's going to come and help because markets have changed and there's lots of different programs he has to help people buy and um, with their homes and then of course with the changes in the real estate market with NAR and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a informational gathering. So come invite your friends if you're thinking about buying or even selling in the next year or so. Come and get prepared so that you know what to look for and what options are available before and that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be April 24th
24th.
at the 6 p.m.
Mhm.
at the EWC.
And he's actually going to be doing three classes. So there'll be the first one,
Mhm.
the second one, and then the third one's kind of geared more towards investors. So if you're thinking about starting on doing that investment type of thing, rentals, that type of thing, definitely reach out to us. We can get you Jacob's contact information or just let you know when the class is.
Yeah, so the third class is going to be more towards investing and how to be able to do that without a ton of money down. The second class, it's going to be kind of um, I guess a mid level. It's not your very first or second home buying, but ways like we'll talk about your construction, all those kinds of things, how to get those land home packages and that kind of stuff.
Kind of like when you're going to be, yeah, well, I guess you'd be upgrading or looking
Mm.
at downsizing, either one of those. So
Yeah, yeah.
different options for lending in the programs and packages that he has.
Yeah, so he's going to do some lending. We'll do some real estate stuff. What's happening, how you can offer, how to pick an agent, that kind of thing. So, really
Very
excited.
informative and it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. So
Stay tuned on the dates for those other two. Let us know if you want us to let us know. Let us know if you want us to let you know when they are.
perfect. Yeah.
So, what else is happening?
Like we talked last time, there's the choice gas program. So I
Mhm.
did do some homework on that. So
Nice.
basically, what it is you get a ballot in April,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can pick your supplier and your pricing options. So you can go through and choose budget, all those different types of things, what they're charging per therm and all of that, and make your selection so you can kind of customize it. Your bill is still through Black Hills Energy. The gas line is still provided the same way. It just gives you a little bit of control and a voice on what you're paying and who you're paying.
I think that's so interesting because also, why can't we have something like that for like power? Because right now we only have Rocky Mountain Power and it's so expensive. And I'm like,
Just keeps going up.
how can we would we have no choice? We have to use them.
Hmm. Well, and that's where, like, the people you talked at the Home and Garden Show, solar options, I think people are starting to look into those types of things more
Yeah,
than before, just because with rate hikes going up and
yeah.
everything like that, it's just kind of taking a little bit more control over your
What you do.
expenses.
Yeah, so I can tell you some of the things that I've learned about that while I've been researching the solar. Um, so first of all, Rocky Mountain Power was going to do a 14% hike, but they have agreed to ask for a 10 point something percent rate hike, but it's still going up. So one of the guys that we met with, how he does it, and I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but how they do it is they basically um, figure out your how much you need, how many whatever they're called, the actual panels,
Okay.
and then how many you need to be able to get the power that you have. So they'll look up and tell you how much power you've used every month, and they like show you the grid. And the crazy thing that I'm annoyed again at Rocky Mountain Power, sorry, but um
Happens. I am annoyed every time I
They
pay the
just
bill.
they just made a rule now that you cannot roll over any. So when you use the solar power panels, and like in the summer when you're not using as much, because
Right.
for us it is like in the winter, right, that we use the most. And in the summer when you're not using as much, then it like gives you those credits. So your solar panels provide enough for your home plus
Extra.
extra, and then you can roll those over. And then, but they won't let you roll them over forever. They stop in December. Well, guess when my highest bill is?
January,
January
February,
and
for sure.
February, because
Mhm.
that's when it's the coldest. And so those times I'm still, even if we do solar, I'm still gonna have to pay for electricity in those months until we get batteries, which we talked about them as well, in like a battery system.
Mhm.
In the next few years, they're gonna be really cheap,
Mhm.
and supposedly, that's what they're predicting. And so right now they're really expensive, but then in the next few years with technology coming along with that, then they're gonna be really cheap, so it won't be as bad eventually, and then you would just get fully off grid. But as of right now, you have to do that, and then they figure out what your average per month if you took everything and averaged it out, and then they finance it through the financing company
Okay.
and hit about that much. So basically, you're taking your average, you're paying that every month. Of course, it's financing, but it was like 3.9%.
Mhm.
He told me that this financing company, um, if you sell your house, because of course I'm interested in that, just how it works as far as real estate. So if you sell your house, then the panels go with your property and everything, and then the new owners they're just supposed to call and get it transferred into their name. I'm trying to get more information about, like, A, is that really true? I want to talk to a
Right.
finance company if they need to pull credit, because what if sellers, then have to qualify for it, and then
Mhm.
is it going to change their debt to income ratio? I'm not sure, because you were saying that your friend down in.
Down in Colorado, they run into it where somebody has gone through, they've done the solar panels, they've done the financing, but then say they don't make the payment.
Mm,
They're not paying on it anymore. Now the company has attached basically
a
a
lien.
lien on the property. So now when the sellers are trying to sell, they're like, okay, well, we've got this much equity. And then the title office is like, no, you didn't pay off your solar panels.
Mhm.
So you got to add that into, because you can't transfer it. It's got
Yeah.
to be paid at closing. So when you finance, or those people have been financing for 20 or 30 years to
Mhm.
get the lower payment,
Mhm.
and then they don't pay it, then it gets attached to like anything else, just a lien on the property.
Yeah.
So it could be very interesting. I mean, I guess it would all just depend on your individual situation and how much electricity your bill is each month. Because I
Right.
know mine is outrageous.
Mine's been ridiculous. In
So I'm
January and February, it was like almost $600
right, and it's just like what?
with all the heaters we have for the animals, the tank heaters and all that stuff. It's crazy.
So, I'm just trying to keep my kids warm. I don't even have to deal with that.
So yeah, it's nuts. But just something to think about when if you are looking at solar panels. And I'll keep sharing information, but take those things into consideration.
And if you'd like more information, make sure you drop a comment in below and we'll get back to you
Yeah,
with,
I'll let you know the guys that we've been talking to.
yeah.
So,
Well, and then I know that is also another option. A lender had proposed to me before you had actually met the guy and started talking to him, was a way to, as they're purchasing the home, signing up for the solar if they meet the
hmm
credit and everything, and then getting cash up front that they were able to use for their down payment.
oh.
So they were able to pay that three
Yeah,
and a half
because you get that
percent.
tax rebate
Yep.
back.
So they were
Interesting.
giving that instead of the tax rebate at the end of the year,
They're using
they're giving
that
it
for their
up front, so they got cash in hand, so that way they can use it for closing costs and those types of things. So another way to
make something happen.
creatively finance
Yeah.
something if you don't
If
really
you don't
want to put
have the
money
cash,
down.
but you're qualified and everything.
Yeah, and if so, there's
Interesting.
an option. But then again, you run back into the whole financing it.
Right.
So it's just different options for everybody, but we can definitely get you the information if you would like some more information on these things.
Yeah. Speaking of creating creative financing, what did you think about those loans that we talked about this week at some of our classes? How self-employed people.
Yes, there's some great programs out there. You have to just kind of check into it, and very customer to customer, or client
And
to
again,
client.
lender to lender.
Yeah, but they will do bank statement loans. So instead of going through, and so you're self-employed, but you're not paying a lot of taxes because you're coming
You
off
want to
of
write everything off so you
write-offs,
don't pay.
save some money, so it doesn't look like you make very much income.
hmm
Then you can go through these bank statement loan programs where they go off of your bank statement. I think he said it's they'll
50%.
50%
So like
of
say that
your.
you get so much income, but then you write off 80% of it, but these guys will count 50% of every deposit in your bank statement.
So then they've, or what was that? The 50% was that on that or the 1099? I think that was the
Oh,
1099
maybe it was.
was the 50%.
Okay.
So if you had filed, you could do a 1099 loan and they would count
That's right.
50% of that on your 1099, but they don't, obviously you don't have to file that,
Right.
but they take that income you show and they take 50% of that. With the bank statement loan, I think it was 80%.
I think you're right.
I think it
Yeah.
was 80%. But basically, if you're
This
self-employed,
is
you're
why we're not
writing.
lenders.
Exactly. We market and sell real estate only. But we know who to put you in contact with if
Exactly.
these are options for you. But it's a great way if you're writing off everything and you think, okay, well, I want to buy a home, but my bank
Yeah,
statements don't
it looks
show
like I don't
this.
make any money, even though
There's still
most of your stuff
options.
is write-offs.
And he said it was basically about a half a percentage point over the going
Yeah,
rate.
so
So,
that means you don't have to have a really high interest rate if you would have to go through a different kind of loan.
you know, so it's a great option for people that do that self-employed type thing like we
Like
do.
us, and yeah,
Yeah.
so we run into that a lot around here, I think.
Yeah.
So, also about speaking of Rocky Mountain Power, I also saw and I shared on my Converse County home Facebook page that Rocky Mountain Power is making a plan to keep the Dave Johnston power plant longer and to transfer some of their coal burning over to natural gas. There's a lot of things changing in the energy industry in Converse County with the.
That's for
So
sure.
keep up on that and let us know if you have questions. We can send you the resources that we know of, but
Mhm.
with that windmill and solar farm and all of that, I know energy is a big
Big thing.
industry all around the board around here. So,
Lots of changes going on. Just, yeah. I mean, it's hard to keep up with everything. And
mhm,
if you miss a weekly paper, since it only comes out weekly, you can
yeah,
totally miss something
yeah, yeah.
for
So
sure.
let us know what you think about the changes. I would love to hear what you guys are thinking.
And then let's see, this last weekend was prom in Glenrock.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
good. So
prom's coming up, but you guys is
yeah, we're all done now.
nice.
And then here in Douglas, you have the musical coming up this
Yes.
weekend.
Douglas High School is putting on their musical Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. So that'll be going up at the high school this weekend.
I love seeing those musicals.
Brighton, my youngest son is very excited because he works the light and sound board.
Oh, uh-huh.
So he gets to actually have a job for the week and the week before the musical, and
Holy.
he's like, I know what I'm going to buy with my paycheck. I'm like, yeah, well, okay, let's discuss that when you get home. So, but
Well,
yeah,
that's
he's really
exciting.
excited, and he said it's a lot of fun. He's
Good.
really enjoyed sitting and watching as they practice
Uh-huh.
and rehearse this week.
Nice. I'll definitely have to check it out. So let us know if we missed anything, or events that you have coming up. I know we have Easter. We'll fill you in next week on what the towns are doing around Converse County and anything else.
No, I'm not sure. I think Paquette Construction may still be doing their um, Easter egg hunt that they usually do every year, but
Oh, cool.
I've seen some people comment on Facebook, so we'll find out for sure for everybody.
Nice. All right.
Well,
Well, we'll talk to you later.
thank you guys.